What is happening, Bulls and Bears? Teachers are going broke. That's right. School teachers are going broke. They cannot afford the cost of housing. And in fact, schools are now paying teachers or paying for housing and actually developing housing specifically for teachers to live in, because in some parts of the country, teachers simply cannot afford to live there because the outrageous cost of living and the cost of rent. So we're going to talk about that and more. First of all, if you like what we talk about here, please make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel. And let's get into the news today. Now, first, a quick note. What got me headed down this path and researching this was I was talking with the teacher at one of my kids' school. And this teacher is actually working 2 side hustles in addition to being a teacher. Now, this teacher has summers off like a lot of teachers. But the side hustle of this teacher here in San Diego, this guy rents out surfboards. And he started off just renting out like 2 or 3 because he just had 2 or 3 to his name. He lives actually on the beach, Pacific Beach, California. And he bought more just for that reason. Now he's got a whole, I guess, fleet. Can you say fleet of surfboards? Like 20-something surfboards that he rents out to people. And he said it's booming. He said it's great business. And I wanted to tie that in with this video because that just shows you that a lot of people were in the same boat with the cost of living, outrageous rents, outrageous home prices. People are having to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs. People are having to unretire. And we talk about unretiring here. People that retired, and because of the cost of living and their depleted savings, they have to go back to work. Well, we just had some news come out a few days ago about how great the jobs number was, how many jobs were added in the month of July. Was it really that good, or were a lot of people that were retired, are they now back in the workforce, and that may be added to the jobs number? That's a big part of what I think is happening. But let's go ahead and bring up a few articles here on what's happening with the teachers here in the U.S. of A. Let's go up to the Bay Area. San Francisco Examiner, Daly City builds affordable housing to retain teachers. And this article gives us a nice photo of one of the complexes, and they're paying a discounted rate of $1,500 a month for 1 bedroom. That's right, 1 bedroom. This is San Francisco. So $1,500 for 1 bedroom is a bargain in San Francisco. And they had to build these specifically because so many teachers were leaving the city. I remember being a kid back in school thinking that teachers were paid very well, that they all have really nice houses, that they all drive really nice cars. Well, growing up, you come to the realization that careers that you thought were once very lucrative, a lot of these people are barely scraping by. Now we have to have, in essence, what's subsidized housing to give these teachers an affordable place to live. Pretty interesting, right? Now, we just talked a couple reports ago about how some teachers were quitting their jobs to even work in retail. There was an example of a teacher making $42,000, left his teaching job to go to work at Walmart for $55,000, so about a $12,000 increase per year. Now, some of you were mentioning that maybe he would have had summers off as a teacher. Well, that's true in many cases, but in other cases, teachers have to work during the summer and teach summer school, and sometimes even teach like special ed classes and different assignments just to be able to keep up with the cost of living. A lot of teachers can no longer take the summer off. And like I mentioned, a lot of teachers have side hustles, and they're still actually working even during normally when they would have vacation and be traveling and relaxing. Now, AP even had a nice article on this, and this article gives us even some drone footage of one of these housing complexes developed for the teachers. It almost looks like something you'd see in China. Now, in China, it's actually very common for people to have housing at their job. Some factories have it in their financial hub. There's even a report here out of Quartz. Sleep at work is the new work from home in China's financial hub. And unless we see some sort of massive price correction for both rents and cost of homes, we're going to start seeing more of this here in the U.S. More companies forced to provide housing for their employees. It starts with just teachers maybe, but now you're going to start seeing more of this unless we get a massive price correction. All right, still on the topic of teachers and the cost of living, in Arizona, you no longer need a college degree to be a teacher. How crazy is that? Now Arizona says teachers don't require college degrees. a lot of similar problems. Teachers are moving away, especially the more expensive areas like Scottsdale, Phoenix. Right? There's also a few other major issues and reasons why teachers are resigning. But it's pretty interesting that you no longer need a degree. So think of anyone with a high school diploma now can go to Arizona and actually be a teacher. But is it good to be a teacher anymore? Well, it can be. Depends on where you're at. If you're in San Francisco, not so much, because even a subsidized one-bedroom house is $1,500. Of course, teachers on the coast make more than the average teacher in the United States, just because the cost of living is so much higher. And the average salary here in California is higher than most of the United States, but also the cost of living is much higher. Now, according to this article, these teachers still have to be in college or pursuing their degree, but it's going to be interesting to see if they can fill the void or fill the gap with people that don't have degrees. Now, I am really hoping for the teachers' sake that can't afford housing, and for all the people that are having a difficult time paying their rent now, that we see a housing correction. We need a housing market correction. Home prices need to come down. Also, rents need to come down as well. And I'm hoping we don't see any massive rescue packages, no more Wall Street bailout packages, no billions of dollars to go help the hedge funds and the institutions that came in and bought all these investment homes. If that happens, we could see problems, and we could still see elevated prices. I'm hoping for a housing market correction. And I've always said I don't think there's going to be a crash. I hope I'm wrong. I hope there is a massive crash. And, of course, the people looking to sell their home or investors and flippers will not like that, because that's going to hurt their business. And it actually is hurting their business. A lot of investors, home flippers are in trouble right now, and they're having to sell off some or all of their housing portfolios. And the flippers are going to have to get rid of these homes very quickly before the market weakens further. My fear is that there's going to be some sort of rescue package, a lowering of interest rates and mortgage rates again. But again, I hope that doesn't happen, because teachers need lower housing costs. Everybody needs lower housing costs. Lower housing costs equals more money for other things, including things that are skyrocketing in price. Just look at electricity, energy costs, fuel costs, etc. Most people need some sort of help when it comes to housing. So we'll see what happens. Now, I just want to wrap this video up today by saying thank you to each and every one of you here for being here, for watching this video. But a super special thanks to the people that have been helping me out here: Christopher, Sassy, Maria, and Abraham Akau. Thank you to Christopher and the rest of you for being here. Let me know what you think about this, the housing crisis affecting the teachers, affecting a lot more than just teachers. Will we see a housing price correction? Hope so. Otherwise, it's going to be more housing built specifically for people to be able to afford to live where they work. And it's becoming more and more like what we've seen in some of these other countries, coming right here to America. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Please like to hear from me on this. Big love, everybody. Keep stacking. Peace.